What's up, guys? Today we are starting the rear disc brake swap on the Civic. Stay tuned. So I'm going to try to do this video a little bit differently. It's just going to be a tiny bit shorter. Sorry that the camera's out of focus. It's being a pain. All right, there we go. So basically, I just have my rear trailing arms and I am going to be cleaning them up. I got them from a junkyard car. I cut the upper control arm, the lower control arm, and the compensator arm on those, so I have to get those out still. And you know how old Hondas are, they're probably seized. The bolts are probably seized in the bushing, so they might be a pain in the butt to get out. I'm gonna spray them with some penetrating oil to see if I can get them to break free. And I need to go start my heater over there because it's really cold in this garage right now. I think it's like, I don't know how cold it is outside, maybe 32 degrees, something like that. It's snowing a little bit, so it's gotta at least be freezing. But it was like 55 yesterday, so huge temperature difference. But we're gonna go ahead and get the heater going and start getting to work on those trailing arms. And then I have new trailing arm bushings that I'm gonna be putting in those to prep before putting it in the car. All right, let's get started. So I have a feeling we probably won't be installing the trailing arm bushings in these today, but these things are nasty. My goal for today is to get all these extra control arms taken off. I got all these sprayed down with penetrating oil, and I want to get the brakes off as well, so that way I have just the trailing arm and the spindle, and then I'm going to wire wheel all the rust off of these and then paint them. And they are in worse shape than the trailing arms that are on my car. It's making me almost want to try swapping the spindles, but I just don't feel like making this a harder job than it needs to be. These are, I think, structurally sound. I mean, they look pretty solid where they need to be. There's a couple bad rust spots like right here, but you know, I'm just gonna get them as best as I can and I'm gonna run them. So I'm going to go ahead and start disassembling this as far as I can. And we have the other one sitting over here on the ground that we can do once we're done with this one. Now, one thing I can say is I've never worked on rear brakes with a caliper. All of my cars that I've ever had have had drum brakes in the rear. Wait, no, that's a lie. I changed the caliper in the rear on my Neon. Oh, but that had shoes inside. That had shoes for the e-brake, so that was a different setup. This has the e-brake cable going to the caliper, and I've never worked on a car like this. So this is going to be new for me. I might have to look something up on how to take this apart, but hopefully I can get this all figured out pretty simply. Sure.
You don't give a damn about what I do. You think you're the coolest. Who would ever wanna be like you? You left my heart in pain. Yeah. You don't have to admit it now.
All three of these, this one, and that one down there, are completely 100% seized. They won't break loose with my gun, which my gun is kind of crappy, so I understand that. But they also won't break loose by hand. So I'm going to have to cut all three of them out, which is going to be a huge pain in the butt. I'm going to try to torch them first and see if maybe I can get them to break a little bit loose with the gun. But yeah, I'm not getting my hopes up. Well, I did the old heat it up with a torch with a MAP gas on the side and then use candle wax. And I put candle wax in there. Good old trick. And this one happens to not be seized in the bushing. It was just seized in the threads. So now this one's loose. So I just have to go ahead and pull this out. And then I got two more. All right, it's worked on two of them now. It's worked on this one and the one on the top. So I guess we're just gonna do it on the third one. See what happens. I'm gonna kind of try to show you what's going on. So basically right around where the bolt goes through, you're not going to be able to see it, but right where the bolt goes through you want to heat up around the bolt, not the actual bolt itself, but where it goes through. And then you want to take some wax and put it on the end of the bolt so that it seeps down into the threads. Alright, so this one is no longer seized in the threads now, it's just stuck in the bushing. And the bushing obviously can't fit through the bolt hole, so it needs to be cut. And the part with the bushing needs to be pulled out, and then this side needs to be pulled out, and that side needs to be pulled out. It's a pain in the butt, but I've done it many times before. Alright, so once you cut it out, this side always falls out, this side on right here. And then you can pull this out. This is stuck in. All you need to do is get a pipe wrench on here and turn it, and it'll come out because we already broke it loose. Alright, so that's all I have time for today, unfortunately. You can see I got this control arm off, this one, and the lower control arm. We got all the brakes off, the ABS sensor. This thing is stripped completely bare. So now we're ready to work on it. I'm going to clean it up, paint it, and then we're going to replace this bushing. I do also have to do the other one still. This one's all together. So I got to tear this thing apart, which I will do another time. I just want to talk about how good our Christmas display is. Check it out. We set this up yesterday. The tree on the left is a little sad, but I got a couple more strands of lights for it so we can you know, have like 4 strands going around it instead of just 2. But yeah, this is probably our best Christmas light setup that we've ever done. Pretty nice, and I'm pretty excited about it. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for this video. Say hi to Bootsy. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Make sure that you like and subscribe. And peace out.